Ah, here we are, huh? You and me, standing in this moment like it's all some grand coincidence. Like you just stumbled into this, tripped and fell right into it, didn't you? Funny how people love to think they're in control of their path, their destiny, like they chose it all. But the reality? It's messy, isn't it? It's chaotic. And here you are. You're asking yourself, why am I here? Why now? Why this? You think you're just some insignificant piece in a giant puzzle, don't you? Like you're here by accident, like you don't matter. The thing about life is this. Everyone likes to think they're a mistake. Everyone likes to feel sorry for themselves, wondering, why me? They get caught up in the mess, in the chaos, thinking, this wasn't supposed to happen. I'm not supposed to be here. But let's pause for a second, shall we? The reality is you're not a mistake. You're not some random glitch in the system, no matter how much you feel like it, no matter how much it hurts. Everyone loves to blame the world, the universe, the cards they've been dealt. But how about we face the truth for a second? Maybe you're exactly where you need to be. Maybe, just maybe, all the mess you've been through, all the confusion, all the frustration is part of the story you're supposed to be living. You think you're lost, like you don't have any purpose, right? Like you're just drifting, floating aimlessly through this chaotic world, wondering if there's some higher reason for it all, some big cosmic joke that's playing out in front of your eyes. But you know what? Maybe there's no cosmic joke. Maybe it's just life. And maybe, just maybe, life's never been about trying to figure it all out. It's about just being here, just existing. People spend so much of their lives trying to make sense of things, trying to fit their experiences into neat little boxes. We all want answers, don't we? We all want to know why things happen, why we're here, what the point of it all is. But here's the thing, the answers, they're not out there. They're not in some textbook. They're not in some grand revelation that's going to hit you all at once like a bolt of lightning. The truth is, the answers are right in front of you. The truth is, you've been living it the whole time. The question isn't, why are you here? The real question is, what are you going to do now that you are? Because you're not lost. You're not some mistake wandering aimlessly in this world. You're exactly where you need to be, even if you can't see it yet. And if you want to find the meaning, if you want to understand why things are the way they are, you have to stop looking for some big, perfect answer that ties it all up neatly in a bow. The truth is, life's messy. It's unpredictable. And if you're going to survive in this world, if you're going to make it through, you have to stop pretending you have it all figured out. You have to stop pretending you're supposed to have all the answers, all the solutions. Life isn't some simple puzzle that you're supposed to put together. Life's a tangled mess of moments and people and experiences that don't make sense at first, but eventually they will. You just have to trust that they will. And the funny part, the more you try to control it, the more you try to shape it, the more you try to fit it into some neat little box, the more frustrated you're going to get. Because here's the dirty little secret. Life isn't fair. Life doesn't care about your plans, your ideas, your hopes and dreams. Life doesn't stop because you're having a bad day, a bad week, or a bad year. It doesn't say, okay, you've had enough, you've been through enough pain, let me give you a break now. No, life just keeps going, whether you're ready for it or not. And if you're waiting for life to give you permission to start, if you're waiting for some magical moment when everything aligns, when everything finally makes sense, you'll be waiting forever. Life doesn't wait for you to catch up. It doesn't pause. It just moves forward. And you can either keep up or be left behind. You can either accept that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, even if it doesn't make sense right now, or you can keep fighting it, keep resisting it, and waste your time hoping for something that's never going to happen. You're not a mistake. You never were. You've been living your life, dealing with what's been thrown at you, trying to make sense of it all, trying to make it fit into something you can understand. But the world doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. You can try to force it into your neat little mold, but it won't work. It will keep breaking, keep slipping through your fingers until you finally realize that maybe, just maybe, the mess is the point. The chaos, the unpredictability, the pain, the joy. It's all part of it. And once you start trying to control it, once you start trying to force it into something that's comfortable, that's when you'll start to see it. That's when you'll start to realize that you're not lost. You're not a mistake. You're exactly where you need to be. So stop pretending you know better. Stop pretending you can control everything. The answer isn't out there. It's right here inside you. In the middle of the mess, and the moment you accept that, the moment you stop fighting it, that's when you'll find it. Never look around and wonder, what the hell am I doing here? Like, why am I in this mess, huh? You're just one tiny little speck in a world so big, so vast, it's easy to feel like you're invisible. Like you're not even meant to be here. You look at your life, all the weird, twisted paths you've walked down, all the people you've met, and you start to think, why did this happen to me? Why did it have to be this way? And let me guess, all those things that have hit you, the disappointments, the losses, the heartbreaks, the crap you've had to wade through, make you question yourself, don't they? You're staring at the wreckage of everything, wondering if it's your fault, wondering if you messed up somewhere along the way. You think that maybe, just maybe, you don't belong here. Maybe you're just one big mistake that shouldn't even exist in the first place. But here's the punchline, the thing you probably don't want to hear. You're not a mistake. None of this, not one single part of it, is some cosmic error. You're here for a reason, even if you can't see it right now. All those moments that made you want to give up, all the things that made you scream in frustration, why me? They've been leading you somewhere. Somewhere you might not understand, somewhere you can't even begin to make sense of yet, but they've been leading you. And that's the truth most people miss. They look at their lives, all the chaos, all the pain, and they think it's random. They think it's all meaningless, like they've been dropped into the middle of a joke they didn't get the punchline to. But here's the real joke. It's not random. It's not meaningless. You were brought here. Yeah, you. All that crap you've been through, all the things you thought were pushing you further down, all those battles you fought, you didn't go through that because you're some kind of cosmic accident. You went through that because you're meant to get something out of it. You're meant to do something with it. It's like this. People are always trying to figure out why they're here, why they're stuck in this endless loop of repetition, this never-ending struggle. They spend their whole lives looking for answers in the wrong places, waiting for the universe to just hand them the secret to it all. But the truth is, you don't need to wait for someone to hand you an answer. The answer's already there, buried deep inside you, under all the layers of confusion and doubt. You're not lost, not even close. But the problem is, you keep looking outward for what can only be found inward. You're looking for some big sign, some grand revelation that's supposed to light up the sky and tell you what you're supposed to do, why you're here. And let's face it, life's not that neat. There's no big sign flashing, here's the way, here's your purpose. Nah, life doesn't work like that. But you know what? It doesn't have to. The fact that you're still here, the fact that you've been through hell and back and yet you're still standing, that's the answer. That's your purpose. You're here because you're strong enough to be here. You've been through all the crap life's thrown at you because it didn't break you. Not completely. Sure, it hurt. It left scars, it left bruises. But you're still here, aren't you? And that's what most people don't get. They think that everything has to make sense right away. They think life's supposed to be a smooth ride, that there's some perfect path they're supposed to follow. But let me tell you something. It's not. Life's a mess. It's a beautiful, chaotic mess. And the more you try to make sense of it, the more frustrated you're going to be. You can't control everything. You can't fix everything. You can't have all the answers. But what you can do is learn from it. What you can do is take everything, every disappointment, every failure, every painful step, and use it. You can use it to grow. You can use it to build something new. And that's what people miss. They miss the fact that every experience, even the bad ones, can teach you something. Even the things that broke you, even the moments that made you feel like you weren't enough, those are the moments that will build you. They'll shape you into the person you need to be, whether you like it or not. You're not a mistake. You're not some random blip on the radar. You're here because you're meant to be here. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you stop trying to fight against everything that's happening to you, the sooner you'll understand that the very things you're trying to escape from, the very things you think are holding you back, are the things that are pushing you forward. You think you're trapped? You think it's all a mistake? No. You're right where you need to be. And that's the best part. You ever get that feeling, that nagging little voice in your head that whispers, "This isn't fair. This isn't how it was supposed to go down. This isn't what I signed up for." It's like the world just flipped on its head and suddenly you're standing there, lost in the chaos, wondering what the hell happened. People like to say that life's all about choices, that everything happens for a reason, right? That you're in control, that you get to decide where you go, what you do, what happens next. But here's the thing, they're all full of it. Life isn't some perfect little puzzle that you can solve with enough thinking. No, life is more like one big twisted joke. And you're the punchline. You try to do everything right. You try to follow the rules. You try to play nice. You try to be good, to be fair. You work hard, you push, you grind, you sacrifice. And what do you get in return? Nothing. Yeah, nothing. The world doesn't care that you've been a good person. The universe doesn't hand you a gold star just for being nice. It doesn't care that you tried, that you did your best, that you kept your head up when everything around you was falling apart. Life doesn't owe you a damn thing. And it sure as hell doesn't give you it doesn't hand you a blueprint that shows you how to win, how to survive, how to come out on top. So here you are, wondering why things aren't fair, wondering why the universe decided you were the one to bear the burden. Why you got the short end of the stick. You see others moving ahead, living their lives with ease, like they've got everything figured out, and it makes you question everything. It makes you question yourself. makes you question the world, the rules, the game you've been stuck playing, and you start thinking, why? Why me? Here's the thing though, the fact that you're still here, still standing after all that, that's your answer. You might feel like you've been dragged through the mud, like life's kicked you around a few times, but guess what? You're still here. And that's what counts. You're still breathing, you're still alive, and despite everything, you're still going. It doesn't matter that it doesn't feel fair. It doesn't matter that you feel like you've been dealt a bad hand. What matters is that you're still in the game. You see, life isn't about waiting for it to be fair. That's the trap people fall into. They think they're going to be rewarded for playing by the rules. They think that if they just keep doing the right thing, everything will fall into place. Wrong. The truth is, life doesn't give a damn about fair. It doesn't care about your plans, your dreams, or your good intentions. Life doesn't owe you anything. You get nothing by waiting for life to be fair. No one's going to come in and make it all better for you. If you're waiting for a hero to show up and fix everything, you might want to think again. Heroes don't exist in this world, not the way you think they do. There's no magical hand to reach down and pull you up when you fall. There's no knight in shining armor coming to rescue you. That's not how it works. But you know what? That's the beauty of it. Because if there's no hero, then it means you get to be the one to save yourself. You get to be the one who decides whether you stay down or you get back up. You get to decide whether you let life break you or whether you break life. And that's where the power is. That's where the real strength lies. In the moments when everything's falling apart, when it feels like you're at your lowest, when life is pushing you down and kicking you while you're down, that's when you get to decide who you're going to be. You get to decide whether you'll let it crush you or if you'll rise up, even if it's just a little bit at a time. It's not about waiting for life to give you what you deserve. Hell, no one gets what they deserve. It's about what you do with what life gives you. It's about how you choose to respond when life smacks you in the face, how you choose to keep going when the world tells you to quit. Because here's the harsh truth. Life isn't going to hand you any answers. It's not going to give you a way out. It's going to throw every obstacle it can at you and see how you deal with it. It's going to test you over and over again. It's going to throw dirt in your face, knock you down, and laugh as you try to get back up. But here's the thing. The more life knocks you down, the stronger you get. The more life throws at you, the more you learn how to deal with it. And one day, when you least expect it, you'll look back and realize something. You'll realize that you've been playing the game all along. You've been moving through the chaos, surviving the madness, and coming out the other side. You'll realize that even when life didn't play fair, you kept going. And that's what matters. Oh, you think you're in control, huh? You think you can sit back and pull the strings, make everything go your way? Well, guess what? Life doesn't work like that. Life doesn't give you the satisfaction of running the show. No, life is a wild ride, a game with rules you don't understand and a twist you didn't see coming. You can try to plan, try to control every little detail, but guess what happens? Life laughs in your face. Oh yeah, it takes those perfect little plans you've got mapped out, those dreams you've been nurturing, and it crumples them up like a piece of paper you're about to throw in the trash. You try to play it safe, think you're protecting yourself from the chaos, but life doesn't care about your safety. It's just here to mess with you, to throw you into situations you never thought possible, to twist you into knots and see if you can untangle yourself. It's not about following a path, it's about surviving. It's about rolling with the punches when everything around you is crumbling. You're not here to follow some straight line to the top. You're here to learn how to get your hands dirty, how to fight your way through the madness, and how to keep standing when the odds are stacked against you. And those little safe choices you make, those comfort zones you try to stay in, yeah, life doesn't care about that either. You think playing it safe is going to protect you? You think you're going to avoid the pain, the hardship, by staying in your little bubble? Life's not scared of your comfort zones. In fact, it's looking for you there. It's waiting for the moment you get too cozy, too comfortable, too complacent. That's when it strikes. That's when the chaos hits. Life's not interested in your plans. It's not interested in your little safe spaces. It's interested in throwing you out of them, making you feel that rush of fear, of uncertainty, of doubt. It wants you to confront the ugly truths. It wants to see if you can handle what's coming next. Because that's the real test, isn't it? Not what happens when everything's perfect, not when everything's smooth. The real test comes when everything's falling apart, when you're backed into a corner, when the world's giving you no choices but the hard ones. You think that's where you're supposed to break? You think that's where it's all supposed to end? Nah, that's where it's supposed to begin. That's where you learn who you really are, what you're really made of. That's when you find out if you've got the guts to keep going. Life isn't a game of following rules. It's a game of survival, of instinct, of pushing through when everything tells you to quit. You can sit there and try to plan every detail, make sure everything's lined up, but what happens when things go sideways? What happens when your whole world turns upside down? That's when the real challenge begins. You think you're in control of it all. That's cute. But here's the secret. Control is an illusion. The second you think you've got it all figured out, life's gonna knock the wind out of you. You are not in control. Not really. Life controls the pace, the direction, the chaos. And you're just along for the ride. And that's where most people screw up. They try to plan, to predict, to control everything. They think if they just work hard enough, if they just do the right things, everything will fall into place. But they're wrong. That's not how this works. Life doesn't care about your plans. It's not interested in your tidy little boxes and schedules. It's about learning how to react when things get messy, how to roll with the punches and keep going when you've got no idea where you're headed. You want a roadmap? Tough luck. Life's not giving you one. You don't get a map to the future, and if you think you do, you're only fooling yourself. The only way to survive this game is to adapt, to keep moving, to be ready for whatever life throws your way. It's a game of survival. You're not supposed to have everything figured out, not supposed to be able to predict what's next. You're supposed to learn, to grow, to change, to survive. You're supposed to get knocked down, get back up, and keep going. You're not supposed to have a perfect little life. You're supposed to have a life that keeps you on your toes, that keeps you fighting for every inch. And yeah, it's hard, it's messy, it's ugly sometimes. But that's the point. If it were easy, if it were perfect, it wouldn't be worth it. Life doesn't hand out easy rides. It doesn't give you comfort. It gives you challenges. It gives you obstacles, and it's up to you to decide what to do with them. It's up to you to decide if you'll crumble or rise. Life isn't about the destination. It's about the journey, the twists, the turns, the struggles, and the victories you win along the way. It's about showing up day after day, even when you don't know what the hell is going to happen next. And yeah, it's all a game, but you're the one who gets to decide how to play it. You're the one who gets to decide if you'll survive or just fade away. So good luck trying to control it. You'll find out soon enough, this is a game you can't win by controlling the rules. It's a game you win by surviving the chaos. You know, it's funny when you stop and think about it, how we all pretend like we have control over this life, like we can steer the ship, like we can decide where we're going, when really, most of us are just passengers. Yeah, we have our little dreams, our little plans, but most of the time, we're just reacting to what the world throws at us. And that's the real joke, isn't it? We get up every morning thinking we're in charge. We put on our fancy little masks, tie up our shoes, and act like we've got it all figured out. But deep down, we all know the truth. Life's just one big, unpredictable mess, and we're just trying not to drown in it. And that's the first thing we all need to understand. We're not in control. We can try to make all the right moves, do all the right things, follow the rules. But at the end of the day, you can follow the rules and still end up face first in the dirt. So what's the point of following the rules, huh? Everyone talks about how you have to be good, how you have to be nice, how you have to follow the straight path to get where you need to go. But have you seen where that path leads? Yeah, it's full of people who played by the rules and still got screwed over. I mean, have you ever stopped to ask yourself, who even made these rules? Who decided what's good and what's bad? Who decided that following the straight path is the right thing to do? Because let me tell you something, life doesn't care about your rules. Life doesn't care that you followed every step, did everything right, crossed your T's and dotted your I's. Life just keeps throwing curveballs. And it doesn't care if you were just about to take that perfect shot. It just throws that curveball and watches you scramble. It's like a game. And the rules? They don't matter. You think you're playing chess? Nope. Life's playing a game you didn't even know existed, and it doesn't care about your little strategy. It cares about one thing: how long you can last before you break. That's the only thing it's testing. How much can you take? How much can you lose before you finally just give up and surrender? But the thing is, it's not about breaking, is it? No, it's about bending, twisting, rolling with the punches, adapting to the chaos. Life's not trying to see if you can win. It's trying to see if you can survive, if you can keep going when everything is falling apart, if you can rise when all the odds are stacked against you. It's not about being perfect or following the rules. It's about getting up when you're knocked down. Because trust me, you will get knocked down. We all do. Everyone does. But that's the thing. You've got a choice. You can stay down, keep feeling sorry for yourself, and blame the world for not being fair. Or you can get up, dust yourself off, and say, okay, what's next? That's where the strength is right there. It's in the getting up. It's in the decision to not stay down. And here's where the fun part kicks in. Because when you stop caring about whether or not life is fair, when you stop giving a damn about the rules, you can start to play the game your way. Life's got its own rules, yeah, but who says you have to follow them? Who says you can't break a few? Make your own. And that's where it gets interesting. You don't have to play nice. You don't have to play by their rules. You can break a few. You can be the one who messes things up, who throws a wrench into the whole system. The system doesn't care about you. It never has. So why should you care about it? Forget about trying to please everyone. Forget about following their precious little roadmaps. Forget about waiting for your moment to be perfect. The world doesn't give you a perfect moment. It doesn't give you permission to rise. But you can rise anyway. You can take whatever they throw at you and turn it into something they didn't expect. That's the key. They want you to stay in line, to play by the rules, but you know what happens when you stop playing their game? You make your own rules, and that's when life gets interesting. You want to be a part of their game? You want to sit there and let them keep pulling the strings, controlling the narrative? Or do you want to take control for once? Do you want to decide what happens next? Do you want to show the world that you're not a puppet? That you don't need anyone's permission to make it? Because here's the cold, hard truth. Life's not fair, and it never will be. But that doesn't mean you can't win. You want to play it safe, fine, but don't expect to come out on top. You want to follow the rules and be good, fine, but don't expect a medal. If you want something real, something different, something that actually means something, you've got to make your own way. You've got to stop waiting for permission, stop following the so-called rules, and start taking what you want. Because in this world, if you don't take it, it's never going to be handed to you. And that's the joke of it all. You want to win? You don't need anyone's approval. You just need to stop caring about the game, stop caring about the rules, and start playing for yourself. Play it your way. The world's already broken the rules. It's about time you break them too. You think you know the rules? You think you can play by the book, follow the rules, and end up with everything you've ever wanted? Oh, how sweet. How naive. See, that's the problem, isn't it? We all think there's some perfect way to do things, some formula that if followed correctly will lead to the prize. A comfy life, maybe even a picture-perfect family. Oh, but it's not that simple. You've been told all your life that the good things come to those who work hard, to those who follow the path. But here's the kicker. The path? It's a lie. The path you think you're walking? It's not the road to success. It's the road to disappointment. The road to disappointment paved with promises and expectations. And what happens when you don't get what you were promised, huh? What happens when you do everything right, tick every box, and still find yourself standing in the middle of a broken mess, looking around wondering where it all went wrong? Life doesn't care about your perfect little plans. Life doesn't care about how many times you've been told to do the right thing. Life doesn't care that you've followed all the rules. It's not impressed by how good you've been. The truth is, life doesn't reward you for following the rules. It rewards you for surviving the chaos. You think you're going to get a pat on the back just for being a good little soldier? You think the universe is going to smile down on you and say, "Oh, well done"? Nah, it's not that kind of game. In fact, that's exactly what it is. A game. And in this game, there are no winners or losers. There's just survival. That's the real challenge, isn't it? Not figuring out how to be the good guy, the nice guy, the perfect guy. The challenge is to keep going when everything falls apart, to keep fighting when the rules don't work in your favor, to rise when the world wants to break you down. But that's the beauty of it, isn't it? The chaos, the unpredictability. That's what makes it worth playing, because there's no victory without struggle. There's no success without failure. There's no strength without pain. And it's not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you get back up. So what happens when life throws that curveball? What happens when you don't win the prize you were promised? What happens when you've done everything right, followed every step, and life still finds a way to kick you in the teeth? Do you cry about it? Do you sit in a corner and whine about how unfair it all is? Or do you roll with it? Do you stand up, wipe the blood off your face, and keep moving? Life's not about waiting for your turn, waiting for your moment. It's about making your moment, about taking control of what's yours. You think they're going to give you the keys to the kingdom? You think they're going to open the door and let you in? No. You've got to force your way in. You've got to take the door down. You've got to kick and scream until they have no choice but to listen. Because if you wait for permission, if you wait for the world to let you in, you'll wait forever. You'll waste your life sitting on the sidelines, hoping, wishing, begging for someone to recognize your worth. But the world doesn't care. It doesn't care about your worth. It doesn't care how hard you work, how much you sacrifice. It doesn't care about your dreams. So why are you still trying to please it? Why are you still playing by its rules, still trying to make everything look perfect when you know deep down nothing's ever going to be? What if I told you that's the whole point? What if I told you that life doesn't care about your perfect little plans because it's trying to teach you something better? It's trying to teach you how to stop caring about their rules, how to stop seeking their approval. It's trying to teach you how to break free, how to create your own path. Because, let's face it, those rules, they're for people who can't think for themselves. They're for people who are too afraid to make their own decisions. They're for people who want the easy way out. But you're not like them, are you? You're not going to follow the herd, not going to sit quietly in the back waiting for someone to tell you what to do. You're going to make your own way. You're going to grab life by the throat and make it listen. And when life tries to knock you down, you're going to get back up, dust yourself off, and keep going. And you're going to do it with a smile, because you know the truth. You're not here to play by the rules. You're here to break them. You're here to show the world you're not just another face in the crowd. You're here to show them that you can play this game however you want. You can play it your way. Because life's a joke, my friend. And the punchline, you're the one telling it.